Imagine a competitor with 100,000 employees. They possess marketing budgets that fund entire infrastructures and an entrenched market position that spans generations. On paper, they occupy every inch of the playing board. But the same qualities that appear to give them strength are often the sources of great weakness. Author Malcolm Gladwell noted that the very size of an incumbent creates a unique form of blindness. Their heavy armor limits their range of motion, and their dominance often leads to a fatal complacency. You are entering this landscape with a laptop and a Wi-Fi connection. To the observers on the ridge, the matchup looks like a formality rather than a fight. This is the ancient David versus Goliath myth playing out in real time. You have a giant wrapped in 125 pounds of bronze armor, standing across from a teenager carrying a bag of cheese. The mathematical absurdity of the confrontation is exactly what makes the giant feel safe. Feeling outmatched is not a sign of failure. It is the necessary pressure required to trigger the underdog advantage. When you cannot win through brute force, you are forced to find the one unprotected spot in the system. Standard advice tells you to compete on the giant's terms. You're told to dump money into broad digital ads, hire massive agencies, and try to match the incumbent's sheer volume of noise. This is King Saul's bronze armor. It was forged for a giant. If a solo operator tries to wear it, the weight of those expensive, slow-moving tactics will physically prevent them from taking a single step toward the market. Inside those massive companies, resources are often deployed with zero strategic intent. I once watched a global brand spend $100,000 on a single YouTube banner over a weekend. They didn't do it because they expected a result. They did it because if the money wasn't spent by Monday, their department would lose that budget for the next quarter. Every action inside the giant is strangled by red tape. A single website change requires legal clearance and a 6-week queue. An A/B test is delayed for months waiting for HQ sign-off. While the giant is trapped in approval chains, the agile competitor bypasses them and executes in minutes. Large corporations move with the heavy, unyielding momentum of a Titanic. Their resources are effectively paralyzed when the market requires speed and precise pivots. If large corporations are this slow and wasteful, there must be a reason they still occupy the top of the food chain. Their survival depends on systems, not individuals. They use ruthless, highly optimized operational frameworks that allow the business to scale regardless of who is sitting in the executive chair. These frameworks are refined in elite business schools and deployed by MBA graduates to build a structural wall around the corporation. They use these models to map competitive forces and analyze customer behavior with institutional precision. Early Google used these systems to scale. By implementing OKRs, objectives and key results, they provided a predictable institutional structure to their chaotic early potential. For decades, these frameworks have been written in a language meant for massive institutions. This makes them functionally invisible to the solo entrepreneur working from a home office. Winning as an underdog requires hijacking these institutional systems and running them with the agility of a single person. In the past, executing these institutional frameworks required a department of human employees. The sheer labor cost meant that only the giants could afford to play the game. The Centaur model removes that barrier. It's a fusion. The human provides strategic judgment, and AI handles instantaneous execution. But using AI without strategy creates noisy, zero-impact content. AI cannot understand the specific language your customer uses. When you guide the tool with a clear strategy, AI becomes your sling. You are converting minimal physical effort into massive speed, allowing you to dominate a market before the giant has even finished its first meeting. Generative AI creates a massive structural advantage for the solo operator who can combine strategic judgment with near-instant execution. To use this sling effectively, you must load it with the same frameworks the giants use, just scaled down perfectly for your speed. These tools take complex MBA concepts, like the jobs to be done theory or Porter's 5 forces, and turn them into actionable tactics. Frameworks like Customer Ikigai, Simba's 5 forces, and Content Market Fit allow you to map your market with the precision of a global brand. Your message must perfectly resonate with the target audience before you spend money on distribution. Without Content Market Fit, you are just throwing stones into the dark.
The goal is to move past the coin toss of the startup phase and achieve revenue certainty. You want the same calm confidence that massive tech CEOs enjoy, knowing your systems work while you sleep. Right now, Goliath is standing in the valley. He is looking at your lack of resources and your small team, entirely blind to the fact that you have just stolen his playbook. Stop fighting on the giant's terms. Load your AI sling with these institutional frameworks and execute your strategy with relentless precision. In the modern economy, a billion-dollar business is built on the quality of its systems rather than the size of its payroll. You have the tools, you have the frameworks, and you finally have a fighting chance.